G'day, g'day. Overall, I am confident in saying that Modern Warfare 2019 is a superior campaign. Modern Warfare 2022 still features some great voice acting, terrific facial animations, and really gorgeous pre-rendered cutscenes. It feels like a big production movie, which is pretty cool to see in a video game, but it very much came across as a quantity over quality kind of affair. At least the cutscenes are watchable this time around after Modern Warfare 2019's were operating at single-digit frames on PC. There are a couple of things that make it feel like a lesser experience, such as poor missions like the convoy one where you're driving down a road, hijacking other cars, and watching the enemy AI just maintain an even pace with you and pretty much just allow their cars to be taken. It's quite a boring mission and it's a bit janky jumping between cars. And the second last mission features a rather out of place boss fight that is at best underwhelming. Seriously, you kill this bloke who becomes a secondary antagonist and the game just goes, righto, tank's blown up, next mission. The AI feels bugged much of the time, with enemies spotting you during stealth sections when they shouldn't at all, either because you're out of view or nowhere near them. And on one occasion I saw, they can somehow return to an alive state after being killed. So that was a strange bug to run into. I even ran into some really critical bugs, such as the game crashing during the loading screen after I died. And if that happens, every time without fail, if I tried to press resume from the main menu after booting the game back up, the game would just crash in the loading screen. So I would have to restart the level all over again. But even worse than all of this, the thing that really stood out the most for me is the plot and writing itself. Modern Warfare 2019 was like a decent war movie. You know, it's told well enough. Sure, it was ridiculous with the plot being about a small British military group working with the CIA, along with Middle Eastern freedom fighters and a US soldier essentially just acting of his own accord and getting around by himself somehow. Not to mention the rogue Russian Nikolai who accompanies them on some missions. But there was sense to be made of what was being presented to us. I think the missions were much more memorable as well. Modern Warfare 2022 is more like a shitty Michael Bay movie where the dialogue is at times painful, the set pieces are still loud and great to look at, but ultimately the writing just kind of sucks and drags the whole experience down. I'll chuck something up on screen for you so you can follow along with how dumb this is. 2019 established the idea of operating in countries that troops are not meant to be in and acting with the gloves off. Do what needs to be done to save the world. Good guys doing bad things for the right reasons and all that jazz. Even towards the end, when Farah's forces are branded as terrorists, no one is stopped from continuing to fight with them anyway, nor are there any bigger picture concerns with the ensuing battles. 2022 flip-flops between this idea. The main antagonist, Hassan Ziani, is to be apprehended by Ghost and his team under orders from General Shepard. They find out that the bad guys are in possession of US missiles. Laswell, Price and Gaz knock out and kill some cunts in broad daylight in Amsterdam and kidnap a cartel member for questioning. Hassan is then pursued in Mexico, where the good guys, and I use that term loosely, shoot the fuck out of several buildings and level a small town within. When they finally grab Hassan, they let him go due to political and legal reasons. The completely illegal operations conducted by an off-the-books team, 141, and a private military group run by Shepard exclusively, known as Shadow Company, who just bombarded a small town, have to let the main antagonist go because there might be some legal trouble. This doesn't even make sense within the context of the twist that comes later in the story. The twist being Shepard using Shadow Company to transport missiles to US allies that are fighting Russia in the Middle East. During such an event, the troops are attacked, and that's how we end up with these 3 stolen missiles that we're trying to hunt down. We already see Shepard ordering strikes against Russian forces in order to kill a high-value target that's among them. In the first mission, no less. So, killing Russian troops is completely above board for the US at this point. If supplying fellow allies to fight the exact same people needs to be off the books, why would the legality of detaining a terrorist they want dead in the first place, who knows where the missiles are, be an issue? And there's also no reason to keep him alive anyway, because they get into his phone and they find the next location they need to go to, and Hassan doesn't show up again until the very end of the game, purely to be a final boss, essentially. How does a single general in the US military even find themselves in a position where they can acquire and deliver missiles without anyone else knowing about it? Further, why would a cover-up be necessary if it was allies being supplied to fight an enemy that people are already aware the US is fighting? Ghost is the one painting a target for the missile to hit, but apparently Shepard doesn't want him, as well as others, knowing the US has been supplying weapons to allies to fight the very same Russians we just bombed the fuck out of. If Shepard, of his own accord and completely separate from the rest of the military somehow, was supplying the Russians in order to fuel an endless war economy or something, I could see the need for such an open betrayal and desperate need to find the missiles without anyone learning anything more of the situation. Just as the teams are on the cusp of finding the final missile, Shadow Company are ordered to detain the Mexican Special Forces personnel, take their base for themselves, and are ordered to kill any 141 members, namely Ghost and Soap. At this point, no one has been questioning Shepard about the missiles. No one at any point has accused Graves of any wrongdoing. It's just a twist out of nowhere and plays out as if the writers for the game suddenly got halfway through their first draft and went, "Oh, Shepard was a bad guy in the original Modern Warfare 2, I'll just quickly make him bad now." It's completely shoehorned in and looks especially dumb with how much attention he draws on himself by openly betraying so many allies and just acting rogue, essentially, whilst still being a part of the US military. Even the supplying of missiles is just sort of stumbled across by Laswell. There is no insider or leaked information. The player is never shown how this information was found. The game just suddenly goes, yeah, Shepard bad, here's the cutscene. After all this, what's even weirder about the contradiction within the story is that Laswell is the one complaining about legal issues and Shepard just goes along with her. And also, she physically partakes in some of these missions, but is so quick to let someone go because kidnapping is illegal. I really have to reiterate this. We let Hassan go because detaining someone without proper cause is illegal after bombing a fucking town. We even bomb a goddamn oil rig. What the fuck are you talking about when you say there will be political fallout for detaining the leader of a terrorist organization? Everything happening is off the books. Everything you do, you're not supposed to be doing in the first place. It doesn't make any sense, and it's such a huge, glaring issue I have with the plot that really dragged me out of it. I don't mind a story that you can't take seriously, but this is not an example of that. It is just poor writing. I don't know if they were lacking in forethought when writing this out, or if the writers just simply didn't care enough about their craft to write something that makes more sense. It's a shame given how much I enjoyed the dialogue between the characters and how well acted they are. Especially Price. Extra props to Barry Sloane for playing the role excellently, and same to Elaine Messrs, Alejandro, I hope I said the name right on that, who became one of my favourite characters in the game. To be fair, the conversations between Ghost and Soap are great too. Hopefully Modern Warfare 3 won't be plagued by the same writing issues, and hopefully it's not plagued by the same buggy multiplayer issues that 2022 is currently experiencing, because that's a pain in the ass. Now that we're at a 2-year cycle, I imagine we won't be seeing it till 2026 or something at least. So it's going to be a bit of a wait. If anyone would like something further from me about this game, maybe my quick thoughts on each mission or something, let me know in the comments and I'll see about putting that out. Otherwise, until the next video, have a good one.